Welcome to Gem Weblog. In this video, we are going to see how to create a frame and a component, and also how to add the component into the frame. First, we will look into the creation of frame. First, you have to import the package javax.swing that will include all the class and the methods that is essential for Swing components. Next, you have to create a public class. Your file name should be same as that of your class name in order to avoid conflict during execution process. Since you will be using file name for compilation process and you will be using class name for execution process. If you use different name means, then you have to remember the class name explicitly. In order to avoid this conflict, better use your class name and the file name as same. Next, define the constructor for the class. The constructor name should be same as that of your class name. Next, you have to create a top level container using JFrame constructor. The caption of the frame should be given as parameters. Whatever the name you are giving it, it will be displayed on the frame. The frame contains title bar, minimize button, maximize button and close button. Next, the dimension of the frame has been set using the method setSize, which is given in pixel value. Next, if you want to make the frame to become visible on the screen, you should set visible method as true. The default value is false. Next, you have to define set default close operation with jframe.exitOnClose as argument. What is the purpose of this method means whenever the frame is closed, the entire application is terminated and returned to console. Here, when the window is closed, if you are not using set default close operation means you have to terminate the application explicitly using control.c. If you are using set default close operation means whenever the window is closed, the control is automatically comes to the console. So these are the different types of constants. jframe.exit on close, it will exit the application. Dispose on close, hide on close, do nothing on close. Next, you have to define the main method where your actual execution start. Next, you have to call the constructor inside the main menu using new followed by class name. Now, let us look into the demonstration of this program. Now, we'll see the demonstration of this program. The package has been imported. I have defined the class sButton example, and the main method has been defined. Inside the main method, I have called the constructor. Now I am compiling the program using javac followed by filename.java. Once it has been compiled, I am executing the program using class name. Now it has been compiled. The control has returned back to the console. The window is not appeared on the screen. So for this, first I have to make the frame to set visible to true. Initially it is default value is false. Now I am setting it to true. Again I am compiling it. I am executing it. Now you can able to view the frame appears on the screen. Okay. Now if I am close it, the control is not coming to the console. If we want to terminate it, I am pressing Ctrl C to terminate it. Okay. Now I am since you can't able to see the frame properly, I am setting the size of my frame to 100 cross 100. 100 and 100 values represented in the form of pixel. Here the size of the frame is set to 100 cross 100. So now also the control is not transferred to the console, so I am giving Ctrl C to terminate it. So I am setting set default close operation with the argument as jframe.exitOnClose. And also I am changing my size of the frame to 200 cross 200. Now I am compiling the program. It is executing it. Now the Windows frame size has been resized to 200 cross 200. Now I can able to see the name of the frame as swing, which has been set using the constructor here. Now I am closing the operation, I am closing the window. When I close the window, here the control is automatically transferred to the console. No need to use Control C to terminate it, since the set default close operation is set to jframe.exit on close. Next we will see how to create a component and add that component to the frame. For demonstration purpose, we have taken the button component. First you have to create a button using JButton constructor. Whatever the name that is passed as an argument, it will be displayed on the button. Next you have to locate the button absolutely on the frame using setBound method. The first two arguments represents the location of the button. Third and fourth argument represents width and the height of the button respectively. So whenever the layout of the frame is not set means, then each and every component has to be located manually using setBound method. Once the component has been created, it should be added to the container using add method. If the component is not added, then it will not visible on the container. Next, if you are not applying any layout for the frame means, then it should be set using the method set layout of null. Next, we will see the demonstration of this program. Now, we will see how to create a button and add that button into the frame. So, first we will create it using JButton constructor. So, JButton b equal to new JButton of whatever argument that you are passing, it will be added as caption for the button. So, once it is created, I have to add that component into the container, otherwise it will not visible on the screen. So now I have created it and I have added. Now we will see, now the button has been added to the container. I am going to apply, I am not going to apply any layout, so I am setting the layout to null. Since any layout has not been applied to the frame, I have to locate each and every component into the frame explicitly using setBound method. The first two values represents the location, the third value represents the width of the button, and the fourth value represents the height of the button. So I have set it. Now I am compiling. Now the button has been located at 50 × 50 with 100 width and 30 height. Thank you.